Welcome back. There's a lot going on for Hedera and HBAR right now, so let's get right into it. There's all kinds of things I could be referring to when I said, "Is it happening?" in the title. To be clear, I'm referring to a continuation of a bull market in crypto. Sure, we've seen a pullback, but that's to be expected. With Bitcoin recently making new all-time highs, the potential for an alt season resulting from capital flowing from Bitcoin into other coins is looking very likely. This is a learned behavior from past cycles, and the market will be itching to pull the trigger when the time is right. Following the 4-year cycle of Bitcoin topping in December and alt several weeks later is still my base case scenario. That said, there are some pretty smart analysts out there that are calling for a longer cycle this go-around. It's best to be prepared for both. Even a deflationary black swan event, which could stop the crypto run in its tracks. I know it's easier said than done, but it's just as important to be psychologically prepared as it is to have a plan on how to play the markets. As far as the HBAR charts go, we're still in the handle of the medium-term cup and handle pattern that we've been discussing in recent weeks. A break above 42 cents will be constructive, but we still want to see a break above 47 cents to confirm a breakout, the all-time high at 57 cents, and price discovery after that. But in this environment, all that can happen very quickly. There's some weak support at 35 cents, and like we've talked about, strong support down around 30 cents. Certainly numbers to watch if the broader crypto market shows some more weakness. This trend from the summer lows on the daily also continues to get respect. A couple weeks ago we covered immutable holdings, and how Jordan Fried was making some pretty influential friends. We noted that they might be gaining exposure to HBAR through his fund. One of the two that we highlighted was CNBC contributor Jon Najarian. We discussed how if those guys did have exposure to HBAR, they might get a bit chatty, and in doing so, could help spread the word on Hedera and HBAR. Well, we didn't have to wait long. Jon did a great interview with SKUx, who are using Hedera to innovate coupons, and Hedera founder Lehman Baird. I assume SKUx is collaborating with Coupon Bureau, and are integrating their universal digital coupon. Let's take a look at some of the highlights.
Hello, I am Jon Najarian, and I'm here at the NASDAQ with two very exciting companies that have a fantastic partnership that you want to hear about. The first one is Hedera Hashgraph. HBAR is the symbol, HBAR is the token, and I love what you guys have been doing upending the coupon business with SKUx, Bobby.
Yep.
So tell us a little bit, Bobby, if you will, about SKUx for the viewers out here that haven't heard of SKUx. You will, folks, because some of the biggest companies, some of the biggest brands are using SKUx technology right now. So tell us a little bit about how you guys have basically taken an old 100-year-old business, coupons, and taken it to the next level.
You know, thanks for having us again, John. So
sure.
when you look at the coupon industry, right, you look at the coupon clearinghouse was basically invented in the 1950s.
Okay.
This industry has not changed since that time. I mean, there's been very little innovation, and it really boils down to the fact that when you look at coupons or promotional offers or rebates or settlement, it's an IOU. And when you look at SKUx, what we're doing is the literal currency versus coupon. And what does that mean? So when I talk about SKUx, it's not a coupon. And it's whether it's a digital coupon or a paper coupon, it's a product-based payment. It's a payment-based offer. So SKUx, what we're doing is we're literally taking all of that inefficiency and fraud and, you know, boxing up of offers and tagging them and shipping them across border and all the stuff that happens in this industry. Yeah, it's amazing that we're, you know, living in a day and time of technology that's, you know, at our fingertips, yet we're still doing that. And we're transitioning that over to the payment rails. And so what ends up happening is you get serialization, you get one-time use, you get virtually fraud-free, you get the ability to issue an offer and track it the entire life cycle. To manage that, you have to have the right technology, and you have to be able to track the supply chain of an offer, which is why we're so excited to be working with Hedera. And just, it's an amazing technology, and it's an amazing time for retail right now.
Absolutely. You guys are actually the greenest. You use the least amount of electricity to do this verification and to put these on the ledger.
Oh, we do. So there have been reports coming out, like the University of College of London had a report that said Bitcoin uses 5 or 10 million times more energy for each transaction than we do. Even the credit cards Credit card companies use 10 or 100 times more energy than we do. So we are the lowest of all the major ledgers. We are by far the lowest energy usage, which is good. And then we buy carbon offsets to become carbon neutral, plus some more to become carbon negative.
You've got things like speed, security, transparency. That has to be a big selling point to your customers when you're saying, this is why we partnered with Hedera, so we can do this.
Speed, security, transparency, trust. Obviously, we're bringing that trust to an industry that currently doesn't have trust.
That's what you guys bring, is scale. Not just all those other things, speed and security, but scale, Doc.
Absolutely. So we bring the scale, and we are so excited to work with SKUx because they aren't taking an existing thing and making it 5% better. You're creating a whole new kind of thing in order to eliminate whole categories of fraud and make the world better to the tunes of billions of dollars. I mean, you're really changing things, taking advantage of our speed and our security, but not just doing it because it's fun, because it's a blockchain. You're doing it because it actually solves real problems in the world. And now you're going to change the way the world works. And I think this is just the beginning. We're very excited about this.
Yep, well, so am I. Folks, I know you're going to be hearing a lot more about this partnership between Hedera and SKUx, especially with this SKU pay that Bobby Tinsley was talking about. Bobby Tinsley, Dr. Baird, thank you very much for joining me here today. Folks, you're going to want to check it out. Both Hedera, which is the symbol of the token is HBAR, and SKUx and SKU pay, which you'll be hearing a lot more about.
I'd like to congratulate Rob Allen, multiple-time guest to Hedera Forum, for taking on the role of Senior Vice President in charge of ecosystem development at the HBAR Foundation. I genuinely don't think there was anyone better for this job. As entrepreneur in residence at FPOS, Rob helped them integrate a micropayments proof of concept using Hedera, and I'm sure he was instrumental in bringing the enterprise to the Hedera Council. But what I find so impressive about Rob is how engaged he is with the community, likely because he himself is a Hederian through and through. He's just a super fan of the tech. I'd like to take a minute and read a portion of his LinkedIn post announcing his new role. I have been working with Hedera in various forms over the last 4 years, focusing on financial services and sustainability projects, and culminating in a seat on the governing council for FPOS. I have also co-founded 3 startups using this technology, and having seen its varied uses for both corporate and startup perspectives, I have never been more convinced that Hedera will fundamentally change the way we interact online. The speed, stability, and security of the Hedera network will enable businesses and entrepreneurs to build trust into every customer interaction at a scale that will be foundational for micropayments, CBDCs, smart cities, regenerative sustainability ecosystems, and metaverses alike. So this is why I'm now focusing on a role within the HBAR Foundation at this stage of my career. We are building an exceptional team with a large treasury to deploy, and a strong belief that we can help rapidly scale this ecosystem, and in doing so, make a massive impact for good. Circle had announced plans to offer USDC, the most trusted US dollar stablecoin, on the Hedera network several months ago. I can't say enough how critical it was to get a reliable stablecoin into the Hedera ecosystem, and you don't get more reliable than USDC. Center is an enterprise that is 50% owned by Coinbase and 50% owned by Circle, and here's what they tweeted about this milestone. We're extremely excited about the opportunities that USDC on Hedera will enable. Our organizations are built on trust and transparency, and we can't wait to bring a new level of financial accessibility to our communities. The CEO of the HBAR Foundation, Shane Higdon, said, "We believe USDC is a key building block for DeFi and payments use cases in the crypto economy. Now, anyone can transact value with USDC on Hedera, and they do so with some significant benefits over other chains, such as high performance, low latency, and sustainable energy efficiency. A growing crop of projects on Hedera will receive a shot in the arm from the addition of USDC." And finally, Circle VP of Product, Joao Reginado, added, "We decided to prioritize Hedera Hashgraph earlier this year because we felt it has the power for more enterprise use of USDC and interesting features for the build-out of more enterprise applications." We had some good news for those institutions needing an HBAR and HTS custody solution. HEX Trust has integrated the Hedera network and Hedera token service standard into HEXSafe, its bank-grade custody platform, enabling support for HBAR and all HTS issuances on the protocol. HEX Trust is now well-positioned as an official custodian to support and provide services for the growing Hedera ecosystem. In addition, HEX Trust has been announced as the strategic custodian for Toko, a DLA Piper subsidiary that is focused on the securitization of assets as NFTs. If you're curious about Toko, you should watch the interview we did with them back in January. Just to clear up any confusion, HEX Trust should not be confused with HEX the cryptocurrency, or HEX the decentralized exchange. HEX Trust is reputable and is Asia's leading digital asset custodian. Much of this news release focused on NFT custody, but this kind of trusted storage is critical for the storage of HBAR, not only as an investment, but also as a utility. There have always been questions around how institutions running Hedera applications would acquire and store HBAR to be used as fuel. HEX Trust is a perfect answer to those questions. It's great to see these missing pieces of the ecosystem fall into place. If you have any questions for Hedera founders Mance Harmon and Lehman Baird, now's the time. The window is now open to submit questions for the November Town Hall. The Town Hall was a monthly occurrence, but it's now only going to happen quarterly, as I'm sure these guys are busy. So get those questions in now. I'll put a link to the registration and for the question submissions in the description.